The XJ220 was designed solely to be the fastest car in the world, while the Diablo was designed solely to be the biggest head-turner. Dynamically, it's a brute. On a twisting, turning country lane, an Escort Cosworth would leave it for dead. But when it comes to getting your eyes out on stalks, this is king of the hill. And so was the Countach, and so was the Miura. You can do something for love. You can do something for money. But there's nothing quite so satisfying as doing something out of spite. Were it not for spite, one of the greatest legends in motoring might never have existed. Signor Ferruccio Lamborghini didn't like Enzo Ferrari, and to spite him, he set about making a better car. Now, most people thought he was being a bit of a ninny, but when he came up with the Miura, they didn't anymore.
Now, there'd been mid-engined racing cars before, but this little baby was a first. This was a mid-engined road car. And what an engine. 3.9 litres, V12, a lot of carburettors, 380 horsepower. Now, all that equates to a top speed of 180 miles an hour if you could keep the front wheels on the ground, and 0 to 60 in 5 seconds in the 1960s. Now, in those days, you could use that sort of power.
Driving the Miura today is evocative, nostalgic. Back then, it must have been just damn good fun. But then came the 1970s, complete with loon pants and glam rock, and to complement them perfectly, the Lamborghini Countach. Now remember, in 1971, everyone was driving around in Mark II Cortinas. This was as big a leap forward as the Harrier jump jet was from the horse. Throughout its long 19-year life, the Countach kept pace with technological change, evolving from this, the LP 400, into this, the Anniversary, complete with a 5.2-litre 48-valve V12 and looks that could turn the head of even the most dedicated motoring dunderhead.
Now, this is not the nastiest car I've ever driven, because obviously I've been in a Nissan Micra, but it's damn close. It's a bit like driving a washing machine, only the visibility is worse. You can forget all about that letterbox they dare to call a rear window, because you can't see anything out of that. There's no rear three-quarter vision, and the door mirrors wobble like hell. I'm not joking, Daryl Hannah could be sunbathing topless on the boot, and I wouldn't have a clue.
But what, I hear you ask, is it like to drive? Well, the answer comes in 2 parts, because on the open road, it's impossible, and around town, it's even more impossible. The problem seems to be that the pipe cleaners which stick out of my torso masquerading as arms and legs are simply not up to the job of turning the steering wheel, or just as importantly, pushing the clutch pedal down. It was, however, not designed as a town car. The boot isn't even big enough for a packet of biscuits. It was designed to go fast, and it does that rather well. So well, in fact, that if you push the loud pedal all the way to the floor, it scares you to death. Then there's the style, which, let's face it, is more Paul Gascoigne than Edward Fox. If this was food, it would be an ice cream sundae with a sparkler stuck in the top. If it was music, it'd be rock and roll. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad the Countach was made. I'm glad the world is still capable of such an outrage. I'm glad too I don't own one, but most of all, I'm glad it's now been consigned to the history books. This is why. It's called the Diablo, and it's one of the fastest cars in the world. In Italy, it's been officially clocked at 206 miles an hour. But don't for one moment think I'm going to try that here.
What I am going to do is demonstrate just how fast the Diablo accelerates. This is the Castle Combe racetrack in Wiltshire. That is a Golf GTI. And this is the difference between a fast car and a Lamborghini. Well, that was something else. But how did it do it? Well, the Golf's got a 1.8-litre four-cylinder engine. This has a 5.7-litre V12. The Golf develops 112 horsepower. This develops nearly 500. The Golf goes from 0 to 60 in about 8 seconds. This does it in 4. But then again, the Golf does 30 mpg, and this doesn't.
But never mind the performance, the best bit is that unlike the Countach, I can actually fit inside. I can also operate the controls, and most important of all, I can see out, which is useful when you're going quickly. The question is, could you really push this thing to its limits? And would every 19-year-old male with a moustache that looks like an earwig kindly stop nodding now, please, because my bet is you couldn't. It doesn't matter though, because what we have here is nothing more than a toy. It's just that it's a few rungs further up the ladder from a train set.